Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today's flavor is toasted hazelnut, and I'm going to have that with hazelnut creamer. And I ran out of my chocolate creamer. So I guess I'm going to have to put in my Walmart order that's been in my cart. I haven't needed it yet. What I do is I just keep putting things in my cart as I need them. And then when I'm ready to purchase, I have everything in there that I need already. So that's been working out really well for me. And it does save me money to order online and have it delivered. At least from Walmart, because there's a lot of things at Walmart that you can buy that you don't really need, but you think it would be cool to have it. So that alleviates that issue. So today's high temperature is going to be 75, but we're supposed to get some rain. And I know some of you are in the path of Hurricane Helene. So prayers go out to you that everybody is safe and you don't lose your possessions. But there's a very good reason to do some prepping. Of course, it's a problem if there's flooding or if your house blows away. Then you can do all the prepping you want, and that won't be helpful. But let's hope that doesn't happen to anybody. So, what do the people that are homeless do? I imagine there's shelters that they can go into. I don't know. I don't know how that works. If you know, leave us a comment below, because that would really be scary. Just pitching a tent and going through those weather conditions, that would be horrible. So, and a lot of people have lost their homes through no fault of their own. So prayers go out to them too. So anyway, apparently the longshoremen are planning a strike, which doesn't help the situation, because that will disrupt the supply chain once again. So we go round and round with all this stuff, and I don't know. All we can do is the best we can in our own little situations. Get out there and vote, and hopefully things might change a little bit. Anyway, on to another subject, because we can't keep talking about that stuff constantly either, because it's not a very happy situation. So, and as usual, I forgot my baking soda, so I'll stick a little of that in. Not much. I don't know if this is helping or not. I don't know. You know, you probably need more baking soda than that, but you don't want your coffee to taste like baking soda either. So, and did you know, I know I've mentioned this before, that dark roast coffee has less acid than other coffees, even decaf. Decaf actually has a lot of acid. I didn't know that until recently. Cheers. That's pretty good. As good as the chocolate creamer, though. Yeah, I was drinking decaf coffee for quite a while, and then I found that out. So it's like, well, that's kind of counterproductive. So I've just gone back to regular coffee. But anyway, so I'll probably be doing something inside. I know I'll be doing something inside today, or maybe the garage, or maybe I'll go visit my mom. Haven't been over there in a while. But I've just been so busy here that I need to catch up. That's all there is to it. It's got to happen. So, all right, my friends, I will meet you over there at the budget book, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Okay, here I am back at my budget book. So, yesterday I did spend money. Yes, I did. Well, I bought a generator. It's a dual fuel 1200 watt whole house portable generator, and the price was great, and I've had it in my cart now for quite a while, and I finally made up my mind. Yes, I need an outside generator with my fairly large refrigerator and my freezer. Those are my main concerns. I know I don't need that much power wattage for just those two things, but anyway, it's a Westinghouse, and it was a little bit over $1,000. So what I did, I signed up for the 6 months, same as cash. I could have taken the money out of savings, but I thought, I can do the same as cash, no interest, and get it paid off that way. And then it's a done deal. So, I mean, you guys know the generator issue has been driving me crazy. And one of the biggest reasons why I bought it now, and I'm hoping that I literally didn't miss the boat, is because of the upcoming potential strike with the longshoremen on the East Coast. And I thought, oh, well, that's coming up October 1st, so I'm hoping that I can still get this generator if they do strike. I'm hoping that it'll get here in time. So we'll see. But I still want to get a couple of indoor chargers. And I'm looking at one that can also be charged with a generator. So I think that would be a handy thing to have, but you have to have some sort of a device between the two that enables you to do that. There's also generators out there that you can charge with wind. You can get like a little windmill type thing that you can recharge it, which would be, for my area, would probably be a better way to go than just solar, because in the winter time we don't get that much sun here, but we sure get a lot of wind. So I don't know, that I have to explore further, but at least if I have this generator, then I'll feel a little more secure about having power outages. And I mean, case in point is this big hurricane that's blowing through in the south. So it's not just okay. Let's prepare for the shit hits the fan, but it's also for weather disasters. So we'll see. I hope it gets here in time. It's supposed to get here, I think, next Friday. So it's going to be a little bit yet, but I don't know. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it'll get here. And in the meantime, I'll get 2 more propane tanks, and then hopefully that'll be enough for a while. But I have to go to Costco this coming up week. I have to get more dog food. And also, I'm going to make sure that my car gas tank is filled up. So what I do with that is whenever I see, I like to gas up at Costco. They have the best price. But whenever I see a cheap gas station somewhere, I always top off my tank, and that way I always have gas in my car. I've been doing that for a long time because you never know, you don't want to have an emergency come up where you have to get to, like for me, it would be my mom's house that I have to get there because something is happening, and I don't want to have to stop and put gas in my car before I get there. So keep your gas tank filled up as best as you can, and it hurts a little less when you put in maybe $10, $15 here and there, rather than, depending on how big your tank is, than putting in, $50, $60 worth of gasoline. At least that's what I think. And if you don't agree with me, then that's fine. You do you. So, anyway, that's why I thought, I better get this generator, because I did have that plan in place, but I was hoping to wait until the Friday deals that are coming up on October 8th and 9th, but maybe I'll get my indoor battery chargers if there's a deal then. But I can live without those right now, but it would be nice to have those too, so that I wouldn't have to fire up the bigger generator all the time. So we'll see. We will see. Sometimes when you don't have a lot of money and you have these plans, yeah, it would be nice to say, I'm not buying any of that stuff. I like clothes. I'm going to go buy new outfits, or I like, tchotchkes for my house. I'm going to redecorate this room. But, if you don't have a lot of money, you have to pick and choose all the time about what's important to you and what you can and cannot buy. So this was a big purchase for me, especially since I have to have that bathroom fixed from the leak. But that can wait. As long as the leak is fixed, the rest of it I can wait, because I have other bathrooms that we can use. It's not like it's our main bathroom. So, yep, robbing Peter to pay Paul all the time. So that's what I did anyway with the generator. And it's kind of like, in one way it's a relief, because I'll be able to afford the 6 months same as cash. So I'll probably even pay that off earlier. But I thought I'd go that route rather than taking everything out of my savings, because there's only so much in there. And with all the things that have been going on here with the repairs, it's really, putting money into the account is not happening right now. So I'm hoping to get some relief soon, but I felt it was important to at least try and get that generator, just in case there's a strike. Like, we need that, right? On top of everything else. Yeah, we're living in crazy times. And I know some of you don't want to hear that, but, on this channel I talk about life, and it's part of life. It's not always rosy. We have problems that come up as a collective group of humanity, and we also have personal problems that come up. So, I like to keep things positive, but I'm also realistic. And I need to talk about some of these things because most of you feel the same way. There are a few of you that don't, and that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, and you know, just carry on if that's what makes you happy. But, you know, sometimes you just have to put on your big girl pants and have the elephant in the room conversation, whether you like it or not. So, okay, well, that's my big budget blow up for now. And I'll be back. At least I don't have to cook today. Yay! I cooked all that stuff yesterday and had some of it for dinner. And it was tasty and easy and quick. Okay, all right. Well, time for some morning coffee. Cheers. I thought I would do a little positive reading, quotes. We have a couple of short ones here. The first one is, and this one applies to me, might apply to you. Start where you are. Use what you have and do what you can. That's a quote by Arthur Ashe. Yep, that's what I've been trying to do. Trying to use what I have as I'm organizing and purging, and really thinking about, can I reuse this object, or do I have to rebuy this if I get rid of it? You know, I mean, I know so many people are into the purging and the minimalist lifestyle, which is great, but I don't know if it's the best time in with the things going on, if it's the best time to be too quick to get rid of things. You know, I figure, you know, if things blow over and everything's hunky-dory, I figure I can always get rid of things. It's not like I'm married to anything, you know, in my house. If I don't want it, I just get rid of it. And, you know, maybe somebody else can use it. I don't have a lot of really crappy stuff in my house. Most of what I have is in really good shape and it's decent. The reason I get rid of it is because I just don't use it anymore. But I'm trying, excuse me, trying really hard to be very mindful with what I keep and what I get rid of. And I have room in my house to store things, and as long as they're neat and tidy and not all over the place, I don't mind that. And then down the road, if I want to, let's say I'm storing something in the garage and I want to go through a bin, I can just get rid of the whole bin, or I can look through it and reorganize it and reuse it, whatever. So that's kind of my thinking, and I know it would be just so much easier if everything was copacetic and we could just get rid of everything and the prices were decent so that it wouldn't be a major deal to rebuy things. But right now it is. And the prices just keep going up and up. And I know some people, it's like, oh, don't talk about that, you know, blah, blah. But like I said, this is a lifestyle channel, and it affects my lifestyle, and I'm sure it affects yours. Unless you have a lot of money, then you could care less. You know, you don't care if you have to spend $10 for a loaf of bread or $2.50. It doesn't really impact your lifestyle. But it does impact mine, and I know most of the viewers on this channel, it impacts your lifestyle too. So that's my thinking, you know. So let me read another quote. And this one says, "Those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything," and that's by George Bernard Shaw. So, I mean, sometimes when you have people that have a certain mindset, they're like, nope, that's the way it is, and I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me about it. Stop talking about it. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear it. This is what I think, whether it's based in fact or not. And, or they'll say, well, this person in charge said this, and this person in charge said that. Well, the people in charge are not always the most honest people. So I trust those people that are regular people that do some research and, anything that I find that anything that keeps being repeated by regular people that keep finding things out, I trust them much more than a news anchor or, a politician that's trying to protect their investments. And, let's face it, they don't say crooked politician for nothing, because there's a lot of those. So, even if you are of the mindset that things are a certain way, you might want to have a conversation with somebody that has a different point of view and ask for actual, why do you think that way? What is some of the proof that you have, or is this just something that fits a narrative because you're emotionally involved with it? I don't know. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Do you think you should just go with the flow when it comes to that? Or do you think that we need to have a little more information and not just take things at face value all the time? So I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what I want to do. I know what I'd like to do, but I have too much to do. So I have to work on chiseling down my to-do list. I need to get some of those bags, those vacuum bags, so that I can put some of my pillows from the living room in there and sort of get some of those pillows put away until the seasons change, and then I'll switch out the pillows. So a while back, I bought quite a few of those vacuum bags from Mark's when they were on sale, and I just had them sitting there. So I've used quite a few of those, and I've run out, so I need to get a few more because I still have a lot of linens and blankets that I don't want to get rid of, again, in case I need them down the road. As long as I have a place for them, I don't care if that's in that space or if the space is bare, as long as it's something useful. And so getting rid of all your blankets might not be a good idea. In a power outage, you might need them. Or if you have lots of family members, they will need them as well. So, if I think about what would my ideal world look like instead of the real world that, we all live in. And for me, everything would have a place, everything would have enough room where I wouldn't have to cram things and jam things into a small space. I would have nice furniture that wasn't being ruined. So yeah, sometimes I ask myself, what would my ideal life look like? And it's pretty much what it is. I've had to resort to buying cheap furniture because I know it's going to get ruined after a few years. The initial set that I bought when I moved into this house, I loved it. But, with 3 dogs and I had 2 cats and, they all pretty much trashed that. So, but I had it for a long time. But then it got to the point where oh, I'll have this recovered, or, but it would have cost me more to do that than to just get rid of it and buy some cheap furniture that, well, if you pay $150, $60 for a love seat, you're not going to be distraught if you have to get rid of it and get a new one. At least that's what I think. So, yeah, what would my ideal life look like? And I've actually gone through, I was looking through one of my notebooks, and it was all the things that are positive and negative, and things that I want to work towards, and things I want to not do. So it's helpful to make a list like that, and then just go over it. So let me get my notebook, and I'll go over some of the things some of the questions that I asked myself, and you can do the same thing if you want. So I just have this spiral notebook that I made notes in, and I made a lot of different suggestions to myself to, for future me. How do I want my life to look? Where do I want to head? What are my goals? So one of the things that I have in here is, instead of shopping, have more things to do. So basic things that I can do in 15 minutes. So I made a whole big list of things that I can do in 15 minutes that are of interest to me. I'm not going to read my list because, we all have our own things that we find interesting. So, if I wanted to go out shopping, it's like, well, what can I do instead? I don't, this was from when I was trying to get out of debt. And it was my goal to get out of debt in 2024, which I did in January. So, and even though I just bought the generator, I could pay for it out of my savings. I just chose not to. So that's okay. I'll just pay for it over 6 months' time, and I'm comfortable with that. So another question that I asked myself was, what does my ideal life look like? When do I feel the most content? So I made a list of those things. And again, that's all specific to the individual, so I'm not going to read my list, but you can make your own list. Another question was, what would I do differently if money wasn't an issue? And I made myself a list of, what would I do differently? I would definitely keep my house in repair and not worry about where that money's coming from. But I would still live in the same house. I would still have my 3 dogs. So there wasn't a whole lot that I would do differently. I don't want to travel. That's not my thing. Maybe I would have gatherings at the house more often with the family. And but yeah, there isn't a whole lot that I would do differently, other than I would feel more secure if money wasn't an object. I like my car. I wouldn't buy a new car every year. That's not my goal. So I know one thing that I would do. I would have a cleaning lady. That's what I would do. And I would have a gardener that would come in and mulch my, I would still do my own gardening, but would come in and do the hard work, the things, that, like putting down mulch or filling up my raised flower containers and stuff. I would have a gardener, and I would have a cleaning lady. That's what I would do differently if money wasn't an object. Another Another thing was things I want to continue to do. So again, that's, specific to each individual. So, make your own list. But I found this very helpful when I read through it again, because I made this, I don't know, was it a couple years ago? And then I kind of put it away. So I read through it again to see what my ideas were and what my plans were. And it was like, oh yeah, that was a good thing to do. What do I spend money on and why? So, for me, it was I used to spend money on clothes, freezer food, and home decor. So those were my things. But again, you have your own things that you spend money on, whether it's buying, a new car every year, or a lot of clothes, or going out to eat a lot, whatever. And then you want to ask yourself, why do I spend money on that? Does it make you feel good, or is it something that you want to look good for other people, or, whatever. Then I made a list of things I want to do or need done, and that is like a to-do list. So that's on there. And then I asked myself also, what have I done so far to get out of debt? And I will read this, using up freezer, pantry, and fridge food, which saves on groceries. I made a 2020 budget binder, and that's the binder I use every day. I track my monthly spending, low spend plan, rules, and goals. So I wrote out my goals for low, no spend, what I could spend money on, what I couldn't, and I tracked that. And then I paid down my debt. So what else can I do to get out of debt fast? And that was continue no low spend all of 2020. So I made this up in 2020. Make some months no spend and some low spend, kind of alternate. Buy only basic groceries to make my own plant-based meals. So I've done that. Don't buy new produce until old is all used up. So that's why I come up with my meals. I try to use up all the produce before it goes bad. Have freezer meals available from leftovers for a quick meal. I still do that. Here's one I'm not doing. Stay off Amazon, except for basic supplies. Well, I'm not going on Amazon and buying things that really are just silly. I mean, once in a while I do. Like in my cart, I have these two, they're like yard picks, and there are these pumpkins with gnomes sitting on top of them. I keep going back and forth, should I buy that or not? So I buy things on there that really I don't have to have, I don't need, but most of the things that I've been buying on Amazon are things that I need, and not just real frivolous things. Use only my debit card at Costco for dog supplies, so I have not been putting things on my Costco credit card for a long time already. And use as much frozen food as possible, and I'm still doing that. I have the whole year of freezer cooked down. If you haven't seen those videos, I really should put those in a playlist, but I did a whole year of freezer cooked down, and I'm still at it. So let's see, what else? Okay, things I could do to make money. I could do eBay, or I could open an Etsy store. Of course, I do YouTube, which, isn't going to make me rich by any stretch of the imagination, but the money that I do get from AdSense definitely helps out. So, but you know, usually that averages maybe $300 to $400 a month. There were months where I made more, but that doesn't happen very often. So, so that's my side gig. But and I could sell my jewelry. I could get back into doing that. I could get back into painting and open an Etsy store. But I haven't done that yet. So anyway, those are my lists and my questions of things that I started in 2020, and I accomplished my goal of being debt-free. But like I said, now I have this generator that I have the time payments on, but you know, as long as I'm not racking up a big amount of debt, like if I needed an appliance, I would go ahead and buy that on time payments too. So, all right, well, my friends, I'm not cooking for you today. I'm not cooking for me today. I'm having what I cooked yesterday. So that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.